Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Saturday night with the Twisted One. How we doing out there, cupcakes, on this glorious day? It's been an absolutely glorious week, hasn't it? I mean, pond stuff coming out left, right, and centre, and let's just hope that this is a precursor for the summer. Because if we're going to have a summer like this, we should have a wicked koi season. And talking about koi, there were some amazing koi down at Matt's at Howie Koi's today. Absolutely. And I did try getting him to put the Karashi guy on a payment plan, but he wouldn't have it. I'll tell you what, that Akame Karashi guy he's got there, absolutely amazing fish. And if Susan had the money, she would have walked away with it today because she fell in love with it. And she thought it would have been the perfect partner for Betty until I told her it was female. But oh, what a fish! What a fish! And there was a couple of faces that you usually see turn up on at koi dealers and stuff. Pinky and Perky, aka Richard and Kev, and they are be coming to the towers at some point soon as well. So yeah, talking about the towers, not been up to a great deal this week, but is there anyone out there that is able to help me set up a reliable auto top-up system for my main pond? Because we were out and about, because we were going down the mats today, and Susan, she wasn't at work for us. We thought, well, we'll have a day away. Yeah, wicked, absolutely wicked. But yeah, I forgot where I was going with that one. Oh, Jesus, what a great start. No, we were going down because we were going down to Matt's. We decided that we were going to be night away as well. Well, yesterday afternoon, we were in Weymouth Arcade. Or was it? No, it wasn't. It was West Bay Arcade. And I gets a phone call from my next door neighbour. And I didn't need to answer it. All I had to do was phone my son up and remind him to turn the top up that he was doing on the main pond for me, because he rang me out and said, your water level's right down low and the pump's sucking in. And I'm like, oh, for Christ's sake, that's all I need. So I goes on a video call with him, tells him exactly what he needs to do. Right. Like I say, must have been about an hour later, my next door neighbour's ringing me, and I picked the phone up and I've gone, there's no point me answering, just rang me son. Have you forgot to stop a top up on the... Oh, fucking hell, Dad! Because it was going straight over my pond wall, straight in the next door's garden. And like you said, it's artificial grass, it doesn't need watering. So yeah, I need to get an automatic top up sorted on the main pond. Pretty damn sharpish. Either that or put an overflow in of some kind. Overflow I can put in myself, but I'd rather get the automatic top up sorted out sooner rather than later, especially with the fact that we got the national coming up soon, and that will be more than a couple of nights away. So yeah, I'll be shitting bricks if I haven't got it done. And a massive thank you there, Rocky Boy. Yep, we hit the 3,500 subscribers this week. So yeah, so it's all go. It's all go. Hopefully, I can get some work done on the pond this week. I need. We have a big stand pipe going along. Yeah, but I didn't want to go down the route of trickle in, trickle out. I'm not a lover of trickle in, trickle out. I'd rather take out and replace. So if the drum takes out a quarter of a pint each time it goes on a cycle, that quarter of a pint can then get put back in, you know. So yeah, personally, I like I say, I have not and have never been a lover of trickle in, trickle out. How we doing, Chris? So yeah, that puts that one on the kibosh. I am going to be putting an overflow into the drum, but that only negates the overflowing. It doesn't help out with the water that needs replacing when the drum's doing what a drum does. And talking about drums, I had my first headache this week, and it was just, well, it's not so much a headache. It wouldn't have been a headache had my UV been working, because on research I've done on the Tinterweb and on YouTube is that 9 times out of 10, if you're not running a UV of some kind in your drum, in your clean side, you end up with a biofilm that covers the screen, which then causes the drum to go onto clean cycle sooner than it normally would. So yeah, after finding that out, and it's the afternoon that me and Susan are going to go and bugger off, and yeah, running around like headless chicken, ended up going to Wicks and getting some brick acid, and then spending the next half hour spraying brick acid all over the drum screen just to clean it, so that it would work efficiently, let's say. Yes, Dave, that's what I'm thinking, is some kind of bullcock top up. But I've looked at loads, and yeah, I was looking at one that Scrag was going to use, but he then decided against it and went down a different route. So I don't even know how that one works. How we doing, Aaron?
Good, mate, you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad now. I'm back home and my fish are all right.
Good.
How we doing, Ty? Long time no see.
It's been too long since I saw you last. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Good.
I got some bum twitchy moments over the next few days, because I've got to start drilling into the top of my pond.
Oh.
Yeah, so I can start getting. I've got the woodwork to do the uprights and the square
Right
around the top of the pond roof, but I'm not using like we have here. You can get these metal post holders that you drill into the top, and I didn't want that. I didn't want to put them in and then have to try tiling over around them or over them. I was actually advised by a couple of YouTubers, Davey Black Country Koi Bloke and a couple of others, to do it with rebar.
Oh, what, drill a piece of rebar in and then put the... Well, it's definitely going to be a cleaner look.
Yeah. Now, I've got the rebar, I've got the washers, and that was fun and games. I went in Hampshire Bolt and Tool, and I wanted 8 washers, and they had a £5 minimum spend. So I ended up walking out with 16.
I'm just going to go get a different device, because you'll keep freezing on my phone, Vince, and I don't know if it's my phone or whether...
Well, you've not had much fun tonight with technology, have you?
Well, I honestly didn't think. Luckily, everything else runs smoothly, but I honestly didn't think a plugged into a computer microphone, which is hardwired into the PC, could run out of battery. Like, how is that even a thing?
Weird.
And it just come up. So I had to, even though it's got a USB going into the PC, it had a USB on the back to charge. So I had to plug a power bank in the back. Now,
that's mental.
If I'd have known that, I was filming at my dad's this morning and at mine this afternoon, and I thought, well, it's not plugged into the phone; it's plugged into the PC, so it'll just charge, no problem. And for like an hour before, maybe longer, me and Ty was sat talking in the studio on it, Like I would have never have done that if I'd ever considered it would have run out. You know, it lasts about 9 hours. Like use it all day, then no, yeah. So lesson learned.
Don't worry, Ty and the guest carried you well.
Mm.
They were really good guests.
Yeah,
I hope people got stuff from it.
There's definitely a different perspective from dealers over the pond.
I hadn't even thought about that.
But yeah, it was a very enjoyable show. Very enjoyable to listen to, especially the fact that he gave so much history about himself and why he does what he does.
Yeah.
Man, good
for
first
me,
show.
anyone that spent like 3 years working their way, it's definitely got a different outlook on things compared to what stores and people and stuff have out here. You know, there's a lot of people that I normally seek advice on and stuff like that, but I never thought the way that it was graded is the way that he said it, but it kind of changes my outlook on that. Really, he's a very knowledgeable guy. The pair of them are very knowledgeable anyway. It's not just him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, I've been doing it 20 years, as you know, and that's the first time I've heard it put that way.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine of doing it day in day out 3 years, it's probably the way that it does actually work.
And like I say, it is one of the most misinterpreted phrases in the koi hobby.
Do you know? Do you know the best thing, Vince, is when Ty told me that the first live that was going to be the subject. I was like, "My God, you're rolling a cannonball into a room on the first live." First live. What we're going to talk about, Tatagon, and I'm like, "Oh my God."
If we're gonna do it, we're gonna get into it.
Yeah, definitely, and you couldn't have kicked it off a better way, you know. But the thing is, your first show, and you've set the benchmark up here.
Yeah. Well, at least I'll be able to
We'll figure out how
maintain
to
that
keep raising it.
with technology. Ty got a bloody $20 super chat as well. God, he might have had less people watching at me, but they absolutely.
I was shocked. I was not expecting that. That's my first super chat ever.
Do you want to know what I was struggling with? Because Nikki was like, "It's behind the camera" to me, and I was like, "But I don't know who's," because they were both going on, and in my stream, I get both comments from. I was getting comments from TikTok and both YouTubes, but I didn't know where it'd come from. So I was like, well, "Who's thanking this guy?" Like,
Jeez.
yeah.
Oh.
Bless Nikki. She were working hard in the background there. The hold my net from both accounts was Nikki set up like that. Bless her.
Bless her.
Yeah,
I don't think she signed up for that.
Well, she did a great job. She crushed it. I had my iPad out and I was checking the comments on the thing while I was doing it here. And she was like responding to everybody and stuff. I was like, whoa. And she's doing this on Aaron's too.
And I bet you turned around to your missus and said, "Oh, sweetheart, help me with this live," and she's gone. He knows I'm telling the truth. That's why he's giggling.
Yeah.
So, other than the show, Ty, what have you been up to koi-wise this week? Has your season kicked off yet?
I mean, there was like a glimpse of it in the last video I posted, but
Mate, finally!
the decking is all on.
Whoa, dude! It's taking you how
So,
long?
I started building the deck last June.
Oh, almost as long as Crafty's rendering then.
So, yeah.
No comment.
You know what I say about putting a loaded hand grenade into a room, innit?
Yeah.
But it was, well, he had some cracking fish there last weekend though as well, and I managed to come away with a really nice ginner goshki. Thank you very much, Crafty. He knows I love him really.
Yeah, no, I would have loved to have gone to that, but me and Nikki had a weekend away booked for quite some time. It just happened to fall on the same day. So we had a nice weekend around York.
You mean you never managed to bribe the koi widow into going?
No, to be fair, it's something that we both wanted to go to. So it was at a brewery's open day.
Oh, cool.
So the saying,
Oh, this was the beer festival thing you went to?
yeah, like because it was obviously inside a brewery, the saying "piss up in a brewery." Do you know what I mean?
Okay, enough said. So, have you decided on your dilemma then, Aaron?
No, not yet. I don't know whether to put 2 in, cap it off, and put a purge valve on it in case I change my mind. But then, like, I know I can't run it how I want to run it with the filter I've got. But my main concern is not the filter I've got; it's actually getting the structure and the infrastructure in place. So it's.
I personally wouldn't go to 3.
3 is definitely out the question. Right, 3 will not happen. But I can understand a lot of people saying 2 because of the sheer length of it. And to get as much taper on the sides as it would be the length, because it's like 2 meters wide, so the tapers on the side wouldn't be massive. But a 3 meter taper the other way to the centre is quite a taper. So,
yeah. I've been meaning to ask you, but I keep forgetting. Are you going to do aerated?
It is an aerated. It is an aerated bottom drain that I've got.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, it's I don't even know which one it is. It's not a spin drifter. It's the other one that people buy. It's Scragg's in the comment. He knows what it is. He's been a soldier, that guy, for me anyway. Literally, anything that I know I'm buying, Scragg's managed to find it for me on Facebook Marketplace. That guy is like the hunter of koi parts. And when I said I was after this, he was like, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, he's
I think is it a JBL one
JBL.
or a coastal koi one?
JBL plastics.
Maybe something like that. It's like a grey plasticky one with a screw on.
Yeah.
Pressure.
But will you be using the aerated bottom dome?
Well, I use mine now if it's hot or if I'm treating. So I would like to put an air curtain in as well. It will be getting put in with the option of a valve in it. So if I don't like it, I can turn it off.
Yeah.
But then if I want it there, it's in.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I mean? So
it's there if you want the extra air for treating if you're doing
yeah.
PP or something like that.
I mean, I won't lie, Vince. I got it for a very, very good price.
Mind
That
you, there's a good story behind that, isn't there, Aaron?
yeah. So yeah, yeah. The when you knock on someone's door and they go, "Oh, it's him off YouTube. I've seen you on Vince's live," and like, yeah, it's
Shirley!
yeah, it's when you're popping in somewhere for 10 minutes and it's not 10 minutes, yeah. But that's like, so I've been gathering bits and bobs and stuff. I've got the blocks. I've got that. I was just let down yesterday with the skip. So
Would you not consider a grab lorry?
do you know they're not very common around here. Like I would, if I could do it. I've got enough area to put it, but
I
I've
think
been
it's,
looking for one, and I've been really struggling to find a grab wagon round here that's of reasonable price.
well, it wasn't until after I'd finished getting rid of all my soil, I had a mate come round and go, "No, you should have got a grab lorry. Fucking cheaper than the skip."
What is a grab lorry?
Basically, it's a bloody great big truck with an arm on it like a digger that comes over, scoops it up, and then dumps it in the
Oh,
back of the
okay.
wagon, and then pisses off.
Yeah, I think they're about 4 skips, aren't they? How much they can lift.
Yeah,
So
something like that.
it's
But when you
not out of the question that, but the man who owns the skip company owes me a favour. So I was expecting a skip, but he was on holiday, so his staff didn't come through. So we'll see. It might end up being a grab lorry if that don't come through. They just
Aaron, you just need to do what I did, man. Just blackmail somebody.
okay. Yeah.
he's too clean to do things like that, Ty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't cut prosy on on the internet. Oh dear. Yeah, so today's been a bit. Do you know what though? Right, what I have done today. I went to my dad's house with a metre and a half piece of wood, and I knocked that in the floor. I knocked that into the floor next to my dad's pond to see how high I would want a window and a wall and stuff like that. So that was, I got a couple of markers on that, and then obviously I've got a marker for cement and a marker for hardcore underneath it. So when I now put that next to my pond, I know if the hole's too deep already, which it is. The hole is deeper than what I need it to be. So
That just makes the pond that little bit deeper, doesn't it?
no, but that would also mean that the extra 8 meter cubes that's coming out when I'm making it longer would have to go as deep, and that's a lot more waste to get rid of. So I've thrown an absolute bucket load of hardcore cement, bricks, tiles, stuff like that needs breaking up in the bottom, and I'll buy hardcore to bring that up to the base level, and then I don't have to then pay to get rid of the extra to go down that deep, and it's not as many breeze blocks to go down an extra half-meter. So yeah, it's just an absolute. It's like, why did you dig it a meter deep in ground? But yeah, so
You daft bastard, Adrian.
Um, Duncan Griffiths sells it if you want to buy it in the raw form, but I'm not sure that me and you are speaking about the same thing.
Yes, we won't go down that route. It's not 9 o'clock yet.
No, in all fairness though, right, on that note, so after Ty did what he did for his video, and I said I don't think we can get that like that over here. I've since found out that you can get it like that, and I know Simon's been doing it that way. I'm pretty certain he mixes his with formalin though, not gin. Which I wonder if that's what's Fluke P is mixed with, something like that, because that's a pinky color, isn't it? And that it has to be mixed with something because it's the main ingredient, and obviously if it doesn't dissolve in water, it's obviously in something else. But I know Si from up north Koi Pond has gone on to Duncan Griffiths and mixes it himself, which
Yeah, there's another name you don't hear very often that is still around in the koi community, in the koi hobby, and that's Duncan Griffiths. What that man don't know about koi health, yeah, they worth knowing.
We got my Shiro lost some scales before the move. It was flicking and flashing. It caused a bit of damage on itself, and his what's it called? The topical. Yeah. When I was using oh my god, my head's gone today. It's the iodine spray. Is it iodine spray that I was using? Yeah.
Iodine?
Yeah, and Stu said to me, take some of this, let me show you something. And I was telling Ty about it, but like video call through a net on a swimming pool pond. He put this on the scales, and it was like bright green peanut butter, and even 3 days later, it's still on. Right, and Stu has always been on the like. If this guy sells it, it's the best on the market. Like, if his name is on that bottle, it's what you should have in your medicine cupboard. And that fish is so much better than it was, and it's cleaned. There was where it knocked, it had a dead scale that needed pulling out. It's been cleaned, and it's got that put on the outside of it, and it's absolutely fantastic now. It's doing so well. It's not sulking. It's not sat. It must have been causing it discomfort.
What's it called?
I need to get a picture. In fact, I don't even know if I can WhatsApp him. I think it's called Duncan Griffiths Tropical Ointment or something like that. Topical.
Yeah, because you're topically treating.
Yeah, it's something like that, and it's like a green peanut butter. I tell you what, right? I shall get it for a video, and I shall try and get a link for people, because
because
I honestly, like, when we've done it and I've sprayed it on it and put it in the water, like, it is gone. And I tried to show Ty like 24 hours later, and it's still on. But it was like trying to spread.
Did he mention at all what was in this Hulk peanut butter?
No, he just said if his name's on the bottle, then it works.
Oh yeah, definitely, like, shadow of a doubt. I mean, my med kit is still I would say 90% of my original Duncan Griffiths med kit that I bought about 17 years ago.
No, I'm using my phone to join the live, so I can't message him. But yeah, it'll be something that it's something that I'll find out for you. I'll have to get back to. I'll get back to you. I'll hop on next week and see if I can't either bring the bottle or bring a link. But
yeah,
it's
definitely.
like before they got moved, I knew it had a knock, and it's doing really well.
And when you say
It's
Stuart, you mean Greenwood Koi, don't you?
yes, Greenwood Koi, yeah.
Let people know that, because a lot of people don't know Stuart is. Stuart could be someone in the comments.
No, so Stu from Greenwood Koi, like he is exceedingly good at fish health, and he only does the old ways, like Vince told, like the first time I met him, he was telling me that's not the way that Duncan Griffiths does it, and I'm like, me being so wet behind the ears, didn't have a clue who he was or what he was about, but
Yeah.
I seen it firsthand of like when people say use tamidine or iodine, and like you put the koi, and I'd done it the week before, put the koi back in the water, and 100% that is gone the second it hits the water.
Yeah.
But that stuff that he put on, man, yeah.
The one that I
Amazing.
would like to try that I haven't used myself personally, but I've heard good reviews about, and that's Ozone gel.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see about that, won't we? Because like.
But then after speaking with Ollie today, it changed my perspective slightly on ozone with koi ponds.
I know a few people that still use it.
Well, I pretty much interviewed him today, and I'm stood there with my phone like this while I'm chatting away to him, and all of a sudden he's like, "You recording?" Yes. He's like, "Fuck." But yeah, he runs an ozone generator, but like he said, it cost him over $3,000, and it took a while, a long while for him to get it dialed in, and and to actually get his head around the ozone process and putting it into your pond. And listening to what he was saying, it made a lot of sense as to why a lot of people had no success with the little eco filtration ozone generators. And yeah, like you said, after chatting with him about his setup and what he has to do and what it goes through, yeah, I can see why those little units.
They've brought another model of that one out, haven't they? Now there's a Mark II version of that.
I don't know, have they?
Yeah, but whether there'll be as much hype around that one as there was the one the last time, I don't know. It'll be. I'd love to see where somebody's got one running right and where they inject it into the water and everything else that goes with it. But I just look at the way that people have run koi ponds for years, and surely Ozone's been out for a very long time, and surely if it's been out that very long time, if it was any good, everybody would already have it, because it's not a new thing to the market, is it? Let's face it.
No, but is a very expensive thing on the market. You know, like you said, like he said, he got his unit, I think it was about 7 or 8 years ago. And back then it cost him 3.5 grand. So if you think that now that would cost you 4.5 grand to get that set up.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I mean? And
do you think the benefits of that 3.5 grand, rather than say you having, I know the retail price of my dad's new filter and an air source heat pump would be less than that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could have a really decent filter and be on heat for less money than that Ozone.
yeah,
And do you think, like, what would outweigh the best? I'm not sure whether 3.5 grand on an Ozone unit would be the way to go if we had 3.5 grand to spend on a koi bond.
well, and like we were saying, koi keeping is so subjective. It's unreal.
I'm not saying it's the wrong way.
No,
not by any stretch of the imagination. Like, because,
but at the
but
same
I'm thinking,
time, his unit went down for 2 months, and in that 2 months, his fish knocked a scale, which then turned a bit icky. He got the ozone unit back up and running, and within a couple of weeks,
yeah.
he was back to fighting fit.
So I know someone that uses Ozone for bringing fish in, and they've said if any of them have done any damage at all in transport, it's just absolutely incredible. Like, and I look at that and think, oh, but then I also look at the side of it is how clinically clean and sterile does that make your environment? And then should it then stop and your water's not that amazing, then are your fish immune system not good enough to take anything that goes in there?
I wouldn't know how to answer that one because I don't run an ozone unit.
No, I know you don't. I'm just throwing it out there. Like, are we making things too, with that side of it? Is it too clinical?
But then if you're spending £800 upwards on koi, then surely this goes into the thinking that it's because it's more expensive, it needs that extra for it to be looked after. Maybe it's just a mindset.
Well, I'm imagining, right? Obviously, I haven't seen the video of the interview with this guy, Vince, but I'm imagining.
It has actually been on Joe's koi perspective.
Right. I am imagining if he's got 3.5 grand to spend on an ozone unit, that he's already got a drum, a heater, and everything else that goes with it.
Don't know. I didn't talk about that part.
I imagine. Well,
Well, like I say, he was actually on Joe's koi perspective when Joe went to Matt's, because Matt then took him to Ollie's place.
Right. I think I know the pond you're on about.
Real nice old boy.
Yeah. Is it like an indoor, like long ovally pond?
I'm not sure because
yeah. I think I remember the conversation of Matt saying his water is just like something he's never seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the pond, and yeah, it is absolutely incredible. But I think.
But is it necessary?
Oh, I mean, I've seen the video of his pond, and the water is proper amazing. But it's not. It's not just that. You know,
No,
I don't imagine that Ozone with a multi-bay would do the same effect. Do you know what I mean? I think there's a lot of elements going into it to get it as good as what it is.
why not?
Because I don't think the micron of the multi-bay and how often it's cleaning it. You could get it that way, Vince. You know, if you're literally doing daily filter cleans and stuff like that. But I bet you any money, without looking, the guy's got a decent micron drum doing constant cleans and a load of other stuff that's to go with it.
You look at Rick's two ponds in the Munger Tunnel. In a poly tunnel,
Right back.
right? Crystal clear water, and he's running settlement chambers and trickle towers.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah. And that water in those ponds, I would compare to any water that's being run on a drum. Any water. And that's not just down to the amount of bio that's there, it's the way it's done as well. You don't have to have a drum to be able to filter down to a really small micron. You just got to put more filtration in.
Yeah. But he's got absolutely bucket loads of filtration, hasn't he?
But that was the whole point. That was the whole point of the way it was built, was so that he could fit pretty much a whole U around each pond. And that's why he can get away with chucking as many fish in as he has been, you know, and still getting major league growth. And I mean, now they've been split down to 2 different sizes, and they've been sort of like taken 3/4 of the stocks out. Man, they're fucking flying along. But water's crystal clear. Okay, there's a few plants that are taking hold in there now, but a lot of that is down to his filtration, and it is a basic multi-bay shower situation, isn't it? When you look at it.
I'm just seeing what other people's opinions is on this. Crafty saying Ozone gel has antibiotics.
Oh, has it?
Mm.
Now that's interesting to know, especially with the fact that antibiotics are so inaccessible in the koi world.
Yeah, you certainly have to know a person, don't you? It's not. It's not over the counter, is it?
What, ozone gel?
No, I meant to actually get the antibiotics that you'd want to use if you required them. It's not. It's not an over the counter. You have to know somebody that is going to get you them.
Yeah, that's what yeah, you got to know someone in the know to be able to get it, to then be able to administer it. So for people that have got ulcers and stuff like that, if that's got an antibiotic in it, then surely that will make life a lot easier for more people. But how accessible is it? I know first person I saw using it was Matt from, oh Jesus Christ,
Very central, Matt.
that's the one. He was the first person I ever saw using that stuff, and he had phenomenal results. And now if Crafty is saying that it's got antibiotic in it, then that would make sense.
Wow. And what's it called? It's just called ozone gel.
Ozone gel. Unless Crafty can help us out with
No, I mean
a proper name, but I've just I've just seen it advertised. It comes in like, well, Matt from Koi Central, he had it in like a little round screw pot.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's. It depends how accessible it is, doesn't it?
But that was going to be my next question: was how accessible is it? Can you find it easily on Google?
I'm going to tell you right now to see if I could buy anything.
I know nothing about Ozone.
Nope.
I need to go educate myself before I can contribute anything to this conversation.
Right. Well, we'll come back to you on that one next week. Scrag saying absolute koi sell it.
Absolute koi sell it. All right, yeah, I found it, Scrags. 27 quid.
So, have you over in America? Have you got any anything like that is a miracle cure or whatever koi related?
Maybe. I don't
Nothing.
know what it would be.
Do you know, Ty? If you wanted like Baytrill or something like that, could you just go buy that in America?
What is Beatrill?
It's like an injectable antibiotics.
No, you got to go to a vet.
But would the vet sell you it over the counter?
No.
Without you taking the fish in? No.
No. I'm fortunate enough that there is a on-site fish veterinarian in my city. So last year I actually had him come out once for one of my fish that had a bad bacterial infection thing going on.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I have some antibiotics left over from that I just keep in my little med kit. But no, I wouldn't be able to just go out and get it.
So that's what over here we wouldn't even be able to get a vet to even prescribe. Most vets will not prescribe it, even if you have a recommendation from someone like Paula Reynolds, who owns or is part of Lincolnshire Fish Health, and she is a bigwig in the koi world in matters of that sort of thing. She can actually you can send her a fish scrape or whatever it is into her. She can tell you exactly what bacteria it is, what antibiotics that will do it. But then you try getting hold of them antibiotics, and 9 times out of 10 over here, you got more chance of pissing in the Queen's handbag. You know what I mean? So, tell me a vet in the UK that knows anything about fish. A lot of them don't. A lot of them specialize.
Are there not vets over there that specialize in fish?
Nope, not very many, if any.
They have to specialize in exotics, which I believe is a multiple things. But give me 1 minute, I'll tell you.
Oh, isn't the koi widow a vet? I'm almost sure. Hang on, I can't see it because it says share fucking link referral on here. Crafty says Dr. Paula Reynolds is consultant in fish medicine and aquatic pathologist. That's the one. Too many long words for me on a Saturday night, mate. Okay, I was only a gunner. Anyway, while we're waiting for Aaron, so what are you got anything planned for this week as far as the koi are going? How's the greenhouse going?
The greenhouse I'm going to be breaking down soon, moving the plants. I already have moved fish. And then I just bought a jumbo tosai. I'm excited about. Right now, it's in a quarantine tank at my work.
What's it doing at work?
top secret project, that, isn't it, Ty? The work
Yeah.
project.
Yep. I think Aaron's the only one I've shown that to, or talked about that with. But yeah, no, there might be other things happening in the future.
Ooh.
We'll talk more.
Oh,
But in the
wicked.
meantime, yeah, I got a Showa from Omasako I'm excited about.
So is the
I
new
didn't
koi?
realize
Is
how
that
massive jumbo tosai were. Like, it looks like
a
a
true
large
jumbo tosai?
Nisai.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's just
a
like,
true jumbo tosai is around like small to medium Nisai size. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So is that you completed with the digging then, Aaron, or have you still got digging to do?
No, there's loads of digging to do.
I'll bring my shovel.
Yeah, there's loads and loads and loads of digging to do.
Fuck me. I hope you don't have it done by the time you come to the Great British Koi Show, mate.
Yeah, so do I. Because if not, Ty won't be going. He'll have a spade put in his hand when he gets off the plane.
Yeah, right.
I'll get to work.
No, I mean, luckily, I mean, three of the meters are already deeper than it needs to be, so it's already 50% done.
Yeah, but if you've dug it deeper than it needs to be, then surely when you dig this out, you just pull it down and level it back out.
Yeah, but I was more concerned with like how that it could sink. People have been advising me, like a builder I know and the groundsman down the street, that I shouldn't be just putting clay and stuff in with rubble. It should be fill that full of hardcore and then dig the other side out, and that's got solid ground in it underneath that won't move. So the deeper area now, put hardcore down, smash all that up, then put mop one on top of it and whacker that so it's absolutely solid. They said don't just start putting mud and clay from the other side in that side.
It's probably the right move. Somebody asked me when we were doing the thing earlier what I regret. I just remembered one thing, and that's that I did not put any sort of layer of gravel or anything underneath my footing when I poured that for building my walls. You can't tell when you look at my pond because I made it so the coping stones are higher on the left side than the right side. But my whole pond, after I first put it in, sank by a 1/4 inch on the left side of the pond into the ground.
Right.
Only know that from putting a laser level on it when I first finished all the block work and then throwing it on there again in the spring to start doing the coping.
So what underneath the cement, what did you have underneath that?
Dirt and clay.
Right.
But you didn't pack down first.
I mean, no.
So
It was the dirt. It was the ground that had been settled and had already been there for,
we
it was
use
there as soon as I dug 3.5 feet down.
yeah, we use it's called MOT. It's like a crushed limestone that you put in and you whacker it with a whacker plate that goes nigh on as hard as concrete, that then you put the concrete then on top of when doing footings, and that stops it the footings moving. So I imagine with the weight of what you've had, because it hasn't been whacked ground before, that it's compressed with the weight.
Yeah.
Was it fiberglass at that point when it moved as well?
Yeah.
Was it? And your fiberglass didn't crack moving an
Nope.
inch down? Wow, you've been really lucky there.
Fucking
Well,
there, man.
my walls and my floor has so much rebar running through everything. I'm pretty sure you could turn my pond upside down and it would stay together.
Stick it on a spray bar rotisserie.
Yeah. I over-engineered the crap out of my pond.
Mate, I'm forever. Oh well, bless him. My dad was always telling me I over-engineer stuff. You over-engineer stuff for you. Yeah. And he was the firm believer in what he used to say: belt and braces, boy. And then he wondered why I used to over-engineer everything. The worst thing is you build something with the mind of it not coming apart, and then plans change, and then you have to try and get the fucker apart, and then you have a nightmare.
So when I built my fence along the side of the pond, the guy down the street, he said, I've just got this new staple gun and it fires. It's like a brad nail, but it's a staple. So it's two of them.
Yeah.
In a staple with rings all the way down it. He said, you fire that into a fence board, it'll never move and never come off. They're an absolute pain to get them out.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a 5 foot long crowbar that I have been riving these panels off with. Now, if I wanted to get them off and destroy them, it would be very easy, but I'm trying to get them off so I can put them back on when I move the full fence. And yeah, it's really hard. They're really
It's
really
the same
good.
sort of pads they use on pallets.
Yeah, he said they're now use them for structures for caravans.
Mm-hmm.
So when they're just knocking the caravans together, rather than putting 2 nails in on a piece of wood that could only just fit 2 in, they just fire one of these brad staples in there, and they're a good few inches long, but they are just like 2.
Yeah, they're like what we used to call annular ring nails.
Yes, like that. Yeah, but it's as thick as a staple now.
Because the ring has got like what looks like does that.
Yeah,
Each bit does that. So when it goes in, trying to pull it out, it pulls against itself.
don't I know it?
Yeah.
I found the easiest way for me to do it is to cut the front and then rive it off so the nails stay in the stringer going across.
Can you
And then
just
pull them
slip
out.
a metal cutting multi-tool blade behind the board?
I've tried that. They're quite the multi-tool blade that I've got don't go in as far as where, because the boards are like that wide, and the blade doesn't go in as far enough to hit it. That was my first thought, but they didn't work.
I bet you when you was putting that fence up, you was like that bloke from that comedy program, Home Improvement. Whoa, man! Whoa, more power!
Well, you know when someone passes you a load and says, "Oh, don't worry, you can have these. I don't pay for them." So you're like, bang, 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 like that. And then now I was like, why did I go so heavy-handed with that?
I knew exactly that was it. That's been exactly the same one. Oh, it ain't coming down.
Yeah. So the door frame of my filter house was held on by the same of it as well. And I had to get a sledgehammer to knock the inside bar off in order to get the UPVC out. So yeah. I knew at that point that it was gone. And I just said to Nikki, I need to take the other side of the fence off now. I want to get a bit closer to the posts. And I was like, I am just tempted just to run a circular saw it'll up either side of the posts and just take that one bit out. And then when I put a new stringers on, if I set the stringers that bit lower, I can just then re-staple it to that. I'm just going to take it off in 6-foot pieces and then just put the stringers lower and have that stringer sit on that stringer.
Yep.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
I gotta run.
Yeah, I've got to as well. It's 9 o'clock and I haven't had my tea yet. So
God bless you. Well, I'm going to knock it on the head tonight anyway because I've had a very, very long few days. And yeah, guys and girls, don't forget Howie Coy Dorset this weekend is bank holiday weekend. Woohoo-be-doo. Get down there and get yourself some bargains. Just leave my Ginrin Yamabuki alone. Tell him I sent you. He will love you for it and he'll look after you. Especially if you say, where's my Twisted Koi discount? Anyway, guys and girls, thank you all for joining along. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, and all that mashizzle. He's back again. Look. Big
Well, I
thank you
had to say goodbye.
yeah, big thank you to my man Ty down there, back on the show where he belongs. Aaron from Humber Koi. I've been Twisted Koi. You lot out there, you all know you're great. And we'll see you. If I don't see you tomorrow with a video, we'll see you at the farm on Monday. Latest, guys.
see you later, mate.